Hello, warm souls. Welcome to Late Night Love. This reading is going to be geared on your energy, looking at someone else's energy, and I pull out the fun oracle cards, and this is just meant to be fun. I think we need to just laugh sometimes around our relationship stuff, and through that release of laughter and what can seem absurd, we can have deep insights that can really be grounding to us, really freeing to us. So let's start with these. Okay. What needs to be lit up? What's hidden? All right, your energy. Awareness. So you are coming into a deep awareness. You have come into a deep awareness, coming into even a deeper awareness around what you're looking for. Perhaps you've just had a situation with someone where it really kind of taught you certain patterns that you always, or behaviors or ways of thinking, or, around relationships. And you caught yourself. It's like, wait a second, I don't want to do that. How come I'm doing that again? How come I'm getting upset about that again? How come I'm, sacrificing this thing that's important to me, overly compromising? There's this high priestess energy in this card to me, which means that intuitively you understand that you're being constantly led to people in your life through lovers, romantic partners, dating people that you're dating, in order to learn these lessons so that you are forced to come into clarity. You're forced to really believe in yourself and become strong and resilient on what's important to you. It's really funny with like the shoe dropping there. It's like you don't want the other shoe to drop again. And this guy is crowning her. I think you've come into really understanding your own status, feeling very sovereign and autonomous, and not willing to give that up. You want to be with somebody who truly appreciates you for your independence, for your sovereignty, who doesn't use your independence and sovereignty and the fact that you can take care of yourself and you're a whole person as an excuse to not want to commit. That you are a person who, you are sustainable for yourself. But that doesn't mean that you don't want to enjoy receiving from another. You want to receive. You want to be cherished. Other energy. That's not it. Okay. Other energy. The other energy is triumph. It's so interesting because we got the naked cards. YouTube might take us down, but we're showing them anyway, because that's just how I have to be. This feels very Emperor, Empress. This feels like somebody feels like they're really fabulous. Like over here in this other energy, this person feels like, yeah, I'm a pretty good catch. I'm a good catch. It's like, you should want to bend to me. But it's so interesting because I think it's because we have, a red-haired empress here. She's sort of like our high priestess, empress in one, somebody who is very spiritually connected, very much trusting her intuition and gut, has come to this point in their lives because of all their experiences have made them a stronger person, full of wisdom, full of sovereignty, full of appreciation for themselves, understanding of what they want. And it's like you're offering this apple. I won't get too close on the card. And it feels like you're like, I'm at this place. I feel really good. I'm ready. Like I'm offering you this fruit, this ripe piece of fruit, and you can bite into it, and we can enjoy, and we can have pleasure, and we can weave our compatibility into something that works into a relationship that's right for us. But this person, it's almost like the poisonous apple. They see it like, maybe this person sees commitment in some way, like it's a poisonous apple. Interesting. But they definitely feel like they're all that. Like they're like, I got a lot to offer. I bring a lot to the table. Maybe there seems to be an evaluation on their side about you. Like on one hand, they know that you also have a lot to offer, but there's still all this other fruit on the tree. And they're like, hey, I'm pretty good compared to like your other options or your other choices. Like they know what your other options and other choices are. They think they do. But they're feeling pretty strong. And yet, here in this other energy, they feel like they're isolated. Perhaps this sort of like, I have a lot going on. I have a lot to bring to the table. I'll commit when I want. I'm I'm the best option. It somehow isolates them. It's a blockage they have. It's a distraction they have. Over here on your side, projection. So it can be really easy to mirror each other. And we do have to remember that when we are in relationship with somebody else, like, there could be certain things that you do, certain patterns, certain cycles of life that are kind of, you're seeing it in yourself, in them. But I feel like here with this card, it's like, okay, I do that. There seems to be I understand that there's some projection going on. Also, they could be projecting, how they feel about relationship due to their past experiences onto you. Like, you might feel that they're treating you a specific way when they kind of treat everyone that way. I think there might be a realization that just has come in, or it's an insight about to come in, maybe right through here, that right here and now, that this person actually has they project their own stuff onto other people all the time. Like what they're doing with you, they do to everyone. So maybe there's someone that, comes on strong, very flirty, a lot of chemistry, but then, they kind of isolate themselves. They present like they want to get to know people, but then they isolate themselves and they can't, and they've done this before, and it's not just with you. And with sorrow, it can be very, very, tempting to kind of go back into an old way of feeling that it's us when it's not us. Completion and playfulness. So somebody definitely, I always feel like overanalyzing with this card. Like someone feels like they've got you pegged, or they have relationships pegged, or, this is what relationships are. With this kind of person always acts this way in relationship, or again, I really feel like there's someone that really comes on very playful, very shiny, very exuberant, wants to have a good time. They know this about themselves. They know they have a good personality. They know that they're very engaging. know, perhaps that they're a very ambitious and successful person, and there's a certain sexiness around, their ambition, or what they've created in their life. But really, they're in their head and they're kind of miserable, even though they're presenting as triumphant and like, I'm a really good catch. I'm a really good option. Comparatively, but really it's like on the outside, it's like I'm this really great catch, but on the inside, they feel depleted. They feel frumpy. They feel old. They don't feel good enough. Yes, it's true. It's like, it's something that they are very good at presenting to the world, and it's a conflict they have between themselves, because part of them knows it's true, that they are a cool person, but they also feel so inadequate, and they're so good at hiding it. They sort of like put a hold on things. All right. I'm upset at myself, right? Part of them is feeling isolated. Part of them is feeling like they're stuck in their head. They know that they overthink these things, but they can't really help it. And so they swing to these extremes of being incredibly fun, being incredibly sexy, having a really good time. And then almost like they're trying to, micromanage and control things so that the pieces go exactly in the place that they want it to go in their relationship. And it's like they can, put it to a halt if they want. Like I see this card here in this reading as they could, put the puzzle piece in and complete the puzzle. But instead it feels like, no, I don't know. Maybe I have more choices, right? Like I'm the best choice for them, but I've got more choices. And not because they do have some sort of a better choice or they have options. Not really. It's a distraction. Let me spoil you. So I really feel like you had a really good time with them. They probably are somebody that has, a degree of wealth, very successful. It's part of who they are, the fact that they are so successful. They could have stuff around money, and although they can, do a lot, they could do whatever they want because of the amount of wealth that they have. I think that they deep down aren't materialistic. I think what they were trying to go for was this very playful, passionate, I want somebody who can play with me on my level, right? I want someone who can play with me on my level. And you're like, yeah, I can definitely play with you on your level, but can you process with me on my level? Can you go through the day-to-day stuff, that humans go through and support each other? Can you do that on my level? I'm stalling, of course, they're stalling. This is someone that you could definitely start back up with or hear from. It's Mercury retrograde, Venus retrograde. Venus retrograde ends on April 12th. I think the Mercury retrograde will end, like the week before or something like that. So I would say in the next month, the next few weeks, perhaps you've stalled this with this person. You're just like, you know what? I'm a combination of the Empress and the Priestess. I have my shit together. I am manifesting here on this planet. I'm moving forward. I'm doing my stuff. I'm open-hearted. And I know in my heart of hearts that this was not working and this was not going in the direction that I wanted it to go into for the long term. And it's very possible that if you just really stopped checking in every now and then, if you kind of got this like, okay, this is a waste of my time, a waste of my energy, that there could be, you know, a reach out over the next couple of weeks, almost just to see if you would get back to them. So that'll be for you to decide. The nights are so long. And this is someone that has trouble sleeping at night. They feel isolated. They feel alone. They feel lonely. They wish they had someone to cuddle with and watch a Netflix show. You know, like deep down, that's what they want. They would like to share, but it feels like a burden. It feels like, you know, everything is a projection on them. Perhaps they have a lot of stuff going on in their life where they feel like they're being projected onto, you know, perhaps, you know, by old relationships, you know, people, you know, you're divorced, you have kids, you know, the person's in your life your whole life. Doesn't mean that the situation has to be a negative or bad one, but it's sort of like, you know, this person may see it as a constant reminder, and then that stuff gets projected onto you. We could have had it all, and my biggest fear came true. I think the biggest fear is that they could have had it all with you. Like, that's an actual fear. Like, again, you know, there are other choices here. What are the other choices? And again, I think this person does this all the time with people. They seem to not be out of options on one level. Like, this could be someone that people gravitate towards too and want to date because of like their shininess and playfulness and personality and ambition and success and how they present themselves. They could be a good conversationalist. They could be very funny, very engaging, but they take up a lot of space. They take up a lot of space. And deep down, they don't think as highly of themselves as they present. Like, they really, it's like, okay, could I have it all? Could I have that relationship that fits me and fits who I am right now and what I'm looking for, you know, as I continue on in the next phase of my life, you know, with relationships? And I think the biggest fear came true, that it's like, I think I found someone that fit all these qualities. And it was scary. I'm struggling to distract myself, you know, isolation. This person is struggling. I'm struggling to distract myself. Okay, I'm struggling. Well, they want to distract themselves, but they still think about you and something about you and what was different or what was engaging them in the relationship. The fact that you were offering them something that they actually found extremely appealing. They found you extremely appealing. And it could be, you know, they would like to not think about you or not think about the situation and just be stalling. I pray for us to be reunited. I pray for us to be reunited. And let me start over with you, and let me just grab another one on that. How do I approach you after all this time? So it's, you know, if this was just a person you just stopped dating or stopped spending time with, just know that you did have an impact on them. And part of them wonders what it would be like to be with you. And can I reach out and even see if you'll say hello in a text back? Like, I see something like that. Something like a text or an email, if that's how that person, if you would email with them. And I think that there's a part of them that very much spiritually wants to be with someone. Like, but they're not willing to look at their stuff. You know, It's like, do they want to crown? Where is it? It's like, do they want to partner up? Do they want to crown someone king or queen? And somebody who expects, equality and grace. I sweat the stress out. I'm sending you songs. So again, this goes back to distraction. They could actually be with I sweat the stress out. There could be something that they do, certain routines that they have that help them, release. They could be really in a conscious process to try to, for the first time in their life, really look at themselves and how these patterns are circling within all their relationships and how it affects their entire lives. There's a specific song, and you'll know it. There's a very specific song that reminds them of you, or there was a song that you talked about or that you listened to or that was really noteworthy. This is how they feel about love. This is love to them in their heart's desire, in their squishy emotional place that maybe they don't want you to see. There's some kind of a song, and you could listen to that song and be like, oh wow, that's really how they feel. And the question is, of course, are they going to get to it? I think that there's, this isn't for everyone. I love it when the sexually frustrated card comes out. It's like, all right, this goes into isolation. I can't sleep at night. But this sexual frustration is something that they're doing to themselves as punishment for their past. And on one hand, they feel like they have tons of options. But then when given a really solid, exceptional person to really explore and get curious and really get to know, where it could be something that's actually life-changing, that could really change up old patterns and old outdated thinkings around love and relationship, and that it's not about, is this going to last forever or a number of years or whatever it is, but your time together could really blast out some of this old stuff. But they have to, be willing to take that journey with you. I want to hear your voice. So now we're just, will you wait for me? I need to step it up. So this is sort of like the repeating message of, are they going to reach out? So people like this do tend to kind of check in, and you're going to know in your heart, in your high priestess energy, if something is coming towards you. And so you get to decide how you want to respond. I always say, do you want to practice your no? And, getting uncomfortable maybe because this person is so much fun and there was a certain amount of compatibility. Do you want to practice your no? Practice your boundaries with yourself? Practice sacrificing something that's instant gratification to make room for what you really want? Or do you want to be like, hey, you know what? I just want to have a little bit of fun because I deserve that. So it is up to you. And I always say, whatever you decide to do is always the best, as long as you're being responsible towards yourself and your own heart. So, mwah, I love you. Thank you for being here. Check out new videos that go up every single day. My name is Kristen. Please give me a thumbs up. It would really help me out a lot. It would help get the messages out there, and I would really appreciate it. And if you're called and you want to hang out with me more, please hit subscribe. Mwah. Bye.